Peace out. Say bye to mommy. Beer, your first big adventure. Hey, Saku. How do you feel about having Beer along for the ride, Sack? It's gonna be fun, bud. Time to get packed up. So, this is where the adventure starts. We have about 35 kilometers in through some woods roads to get to Stony Lake, and from there we'll take Stony Brook back home. Another 35k for about 70 total clicks or kilometers, whatever you want to call it. But that's how it is. Just getting everything geared up before we leave. I gotta tie the raft onto the yellow bag over there, and the sleeping pad, and get the dogs geared up. They both got packs, and then we'll be good to go. Come on, Zach, you got the food, buddy. Let's go. Good boy. You got the food, bud. Wait, here. Beer first, okay? Need the beer first. Beer. Your turn, baby. Come here. Good girl. Good girl, Beer. Here. Good girl. Good job. You ready to go, guys? Let's go. Come on. One second. Come here, Zach. Okay. Okay, so how far we made it in, guys? We're about 4 kilometers or so in the first hour in the woods road. Not bad. Sit down now, take a little break. I was sweating a fair bit. So I got my shirt, my undershirt drying off in the bushes there. It's sunny and it's pretty warm out. But things are about to change overnight and into tomorrow. Right now it's about 12 degrees. It's April 23rd or something. And there's a big nor'easter winter storm swooping in. We're due to get, in the area of Newfoundland I'm in, central Newfoundland, I think between 20 and 30 centimeters tomorrow, and then and tomorrow is Wednesday, and into Thursday and Friday we may get another 10, so could be upwards to 40 centimeters. But I've had this trip planned now for a month, and it's just got to happen. So we'll do what we can. The dogs got their packs on. As you can tell, pretty muddy coming in that road. So both of them are rotten dirty, both the packs. Saku is carrying around, I think it's like 13 pounds. He's got all the food for him and Beer. And Beer's got a pack, and she has some miscellaneous items, probably like 5 pounds. Has my GoPro, water bottle, some day snacks, and some other odds and ends that I keep out and handy. So mainly I gave Saku a heavier load because he's just used to carrying heavy loads, and you know, and all the trips I've done crossing Newfoundland and, you know, into Labrador, he's used to carrying heavy weights. And Beer was over there crying, and she won't stop because she's tied on. She had a knee surgery last year, so I don't want to go putting too much on her. She had pretty much a torn ligament in her knee, and she had major surgery, 4 months to recover from that. So, so she's not carrying a whole lot, just enough to chip in, and I got to keep her on the leash too, because anyone who follows my videos, and I've spoke briefly on Beer before, but she's a husky mix, part Malamute, part whatever. She's a rescue dog from Goose Bay, Labrador, and if you let her off the leash, she could be gone. And where I'm trying to make ground here on a daily basis, I don't want to let her go free because I could be waiting around. But eventually, when I get into Stony Lake, there's going to be a brook, Stony Brook, that I follow back down to Grand Falls, Windsor, where I live. So I'm going to come out near my home. But going down that brook, when I'm in the raft, I'm going to have to let her go, and hopefully she follows alongside of the brook, and hopefully Saku will too. But that's going to be an interesting challenge, and I don't know how she's going to react. So this is a big learning experience for me with both the dogs along, but I'm glad to have them. 2 of them, first time taking 2 of them on a long extended trip together. So we'll figure it out as we go. Hey Bear, what you doing? Anyways, I'm happy to have you all along for this adventure. As I said, it's roughly around 75 kilometers. I'm allotting at least 7 days to do this trip, where I'm going to be off the beaten track for half of it, and I don't know how it's going to be going down the brook with the dogs loose and following alongside on the shore, and with the storm coming in tomorrow and into Thursday. I don't know how long, so it could be 8 or 9 days. I have no idea. So we're going to take our time and plug along. If tomorrow's really nasty like it's supposed to be, it's probably going to be just a sit still day, wait for that to pass, and then get back going once it moves on. But we're going to gear up and get back on the move. Break is over. pups. I took their packs off for a bit, and Bear hasn't worn hers much, and Saku hasn't worn his in a while. I'm going to give them a little treat each to know that it's good. It's a good time. You like carrying your bag. They like it anyways, but you know, you want to make it a good experience. Hey, Sack, here. There you go. There you go. Good job. Be nice. Sack, be nice. Nice little pouch I got for carrying a few treats in. Waterproof little carabiner. And I'll hook it onto the side of my pack. Right there. One beer. Okay, we're back on the move again, and it's almost 4:30 now. We got dropped off at the road, at the pavement's free. So we're back to work. We're gonna keep going another hour or so, 5:36, and with that storm coming, we want a couple hours before dark to get a good camp set up, get some firewood all cut, and it'll be nice. I can't wait. Alright, so went downwards till about 6:30 actually, pushed a bit, and now we got a nice spot just up off Great Rattling Brook, and good shelter, some good big trees overhead, and a good spot for the camp. So I don't got too much time now. I want to get the camp up, maybe the tarp, to keep us a little extra shelter tomorrow and during the storm. If it's not too bad, we can have a fire going under the tarp. But there's lots to be done, so it's time to get to work. It's almost time for supper, boys and girls. Hey, Bear. Can't forget the girls here. There we go. That looks a little better. The storm is going to bring strong northeasterlies, and the snow is going to be pushing from that way, and northeast is in this direction, so we're kind of protected over here by the tarp a bit, and of course the big tree overhead. I got a couple of boughs. The dirt road is only out behind us. Out there there's a down tree, and it was a live tree, but it fell across the trail, and someone had chopped the top off just enough for a bite to get by. I'll show you now. Hey, Bear. Right there. So our camp's just in here, and that tree, boys cut the top off. They can get by here, and I took a few of them boughs and used them for a little front step of the tent. So I'm going to get the fire going. That's the next chore before we eat. Get a fire going here, and then I can kind of put my feet out from the tent here on the boughs and keep dry, because this time of year now, spring, that's a bit damp and moist, the moss, so that way we get a little front step. Come on, Saku. Alright guys, time for food. Who wants the food? Who wants food? Where's our cup too? Where's our cup? Now Saku. Bear's first. There's the big girl. She's older than you, she goes first. You're next, buddy. You're next. You're next. Don't worry. Saku freaks out when Bear eats first. A little bit. Especially around the can't pay sack. You're not used to that. She's the big girl, hey? She's the big sister. She goes first. She was here before you. You're next. Oh. Whew, I'm gassed now. I'm gassed. Probably can't see me. It's pretty dark out now. Time's it? It's just past 8:30. Real calm. You can tell there's a storm coming. No doubt. The calm before the storm. Anyways, it's been a long day. I don't know if I put in about 8 kilometers with a good load on, good heavy pack, and set camp up and everything else. First good haul like that for me in a while. Out with a heavy pack and walking around and everything else. So I've got to condition myself here for a couple days. But it will be all good. I'm just looking forward now to a cup of coffee and a bite to eat, a bit of pasta I got there. Sidekicks and tuna is what I got. I think I'm going to have. I got some random rice too, and I got some of those freeze-dried meals. But I think I'm going to go with sidekicks and a bit of can of tuna I brought in with me. Canned foods are they're a bit of weight, but whatever, it's not going to hurt you. If I was going out for the long haul, I'd never take canned food with me. But a can of tuna, lots of protein, mixing them with the pasta, and then I'll pack that can out in my bag. I got a little garbage bag there. No harm done. Hey, Sack, your turn to eat yet, bud? Yeah? Alright. Go on. That won't last long. Sack's like a savage when he eats. Look at him. Anyways, getting dark. Dogs are fed. It's time for me to get fed now. you doing, Sacky boy? Hey, good boy. So change of plans on old supper. I'm still going to go to a can of tuna, but instead of sidekicks I got a pack of KD left over from Labrador, to be honest with you. But that's still all good. Near starving here now. It's probably going on, what? Now I'm 30. That's my little coffee canister. An old pill bottle. I keep instant coffee in that one. And I got another one in the tent. Right there in the corner of the bag. That I got actual coffee grounds that I ground up myself. So I'll do a bit of cowboy coffee or whatever. I brought a bit of bread with me. It's going to be all squat up soon enough, but there's half a dozen slices, so I'll have a couple slices of that with the feed. It's going to be dandy. InReach is going off. Anyone who watched the Newfoundland series, you'll see that I had this going on, and that's Heather writing me now. I'm not going to zoom in now, but she's sending me a message. I just sent her one and said everything was all good for the evening. There's no self-service where I'm at, but I sent her a message. Just one to say all is good. All I have is I got to pay per message, something like a couple bucks, just over that. So just send one in the evening, make sure all is good. I got my SOS on this InReach. You got waypoints, GPS of course. I can get weather updates, and I can post to Twitter and Facebook. That's who I post online and let everyone know how I'm doing. On the trip, on the Newfoundland trip, I did it on Facebook and Twitter, and up in Labrador I did. So lots of good features. Built-in compass, you know. It's a good rig, and you're going off the grid. It's selfish to go out without something like this to have with you this day and age. So that's what I got. So the kettle's boiled. I'm going to whip the craft dinner in there, have a feed, and that might be it. I don't know, man. Once I have another, I'm going to have a cup of tea then and kick back, but it could be lights out. And the InReach is still on Quebec time. From when I was up there on the Labrador expedition, I went into northern Quebec. So, hour and a half difference. So it's 9:15 here now. The pups are doing best kind. What are you saying, Bear? Bear, you keeping a watch on camp? Making sure nothing sneaks up behind us or what? Yeah, Bear had a good first day. I think the longest trip Bear's ever done is a couple nights, and it wasn't covering ground day after day. It was going in and staying at one site for a couple nights. So, as I said earlier, it's her first big adventure, and she should have been on more, but it's just the way it went. I got Saku, and Bear was meant to stay home with Heather and comfort her, and that's what Bear does, right? She guards Mom back at home. And in here, old Sackmeister's just KO'd. Oh, he's up and down. No, he doesn't like that light on him. Brighten his eyes. Anyways, boys are doing alright. And kettle, which is nearly tipped over there, it's not, but it's on the way. One last cup of tea now before I crawls into the sleeping bag. Snow hasn't started yet. I don't think it's supposed to start until early tomorrow morning. Right now it is 10:25, so I don't know when. I expect to wake up to snow on the ground, and then it's supposed to pick up in the morning, mid-morning, and go on for a good part of the day. I don't know, I didn't really analyze the weather warning. I just know there's a bit of snow coming starting tomorrow morning, and a bit more then not tomorrow night, but the next night on Thursday there's going to be another bit of snow and rain and freezing rain and whatever else is going on. So it'll be a surprise for all of us. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure I'll sleep with one eye open and one ear, but should be good. We're going to change seasons overnight. Quick warp back to winter, and then I think it's supposed to be, in a couple of days time, it's supposed to go up to 10, 12 degrees on the weekend, so it's not going to last very long. What I got right there is what I'm going to use I'm going to tuck it underneath the vestibule or the tent. Once I go to sleep, I'm going to put out the porch like it is done back there, and then, like I always do, I'm just going to stow some sticks in behind so it's sheltered from the elements. This stuff here, I'm going to put it out back or right here in this one, in this vestibule, and I'll have something in the morning to get the fire going regardless. And if the conditions aren't extreme, more or less if the winds aren't extreme, I'll have a fire going with the snow, so won't be an issue. I'm probably gonna, as I said, wait it out here tomorrow. If it's not nice, I'm not gonna get everything soaking and get me soaking and cold and tramping through the snow and everything else. I'm just gonna wait it out and get going the following day, unless tomorrow is not as bad as what they're saying. But we'll see. Look at Bear over there, boy. She'll stay there for a bit, but then she'll want to come in over here in front of the tent, I would say, or climb in with me in the Saku. There's room, but I only let her go in when she wants, because she likes to be out here in the cool. She's a husky. She likes to be away from confined spaces and, you know, stuff like that. She just likes being out here on her own and tied onto that tree and just curled up, content as could be. Anyways, Beer was my original adventure dog before Saku came, and I love her. Look at her. So happy to get her out on this trip with us, and something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's an experiment, having two other dogs, and well, we'll see how it goes. Fire just crackling away, but I could sit back and listen to it all night. So that's a cup of tea, which is going to be some tasty. It's almost ready. So, good night, boys. Good night. Man, I'll be sleeping to the sound of the wind rustling the trees and that fresh spring earth. I can smell it now. It's a tonic for the soul. Time to kick back and hit the hay. Bear. How you doing, baby? Come on, Bear. Come get your food. Let's go. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Hey, good girl. Bear wants to go outside now. Hold on a sec. Bear. Come here. Come here. Come here, Bear. Come here. Savage. She's a savage. Well, it's coming down now. A good mix of snow and freezing rain. Sounds more like freezing rain, and when I'm out there, it feels a lot more like freezing rain. Not a whole lot of snow has accumulated. Only probably 3 or 4 centimeters right now at the moment. But it's just after 8 a.m. Pups are fed. They're in here hanging out now. That's kind of when Bear came in the tent, when the snow and freezing rain started falling. It was around 5 a.m. this morning roughly. For most of the night she was just here in the, well, she stayed out by the tree. She didn't want to come in. And then eventually she made her way over just as I was going to bed, over on the boughs inside the tent porch, the vestibule here. So she stayed there, and then once the weather started coming, I put her in the tent just so she wouldn't get all soaking wet and everything else. And if she wanted to come in the tent this morning, she wouldn't be getting the place wet, you know? So she's pretty dry now, and she's in with us. We got a full tent here. It's only a 2-person tent, me and the 2 dogs, so, and all the gear I'm trying to keep out of the elements. But so far so good. Coffee's on boil, and we're gonna sit back and watch this little weather system make its way in, and see what it's got for us. It's not cold though. I'd say temperatures are just around 0, of course. Snowing temperatures. Last night I was warm, I was cozy. I only got a sleeping bag rated for -3. It's the smallest and lightest sleeping bag I got. And I doubled up on wool gear last night. I have 2 layers on top and 2 layers on bottom. Heavy duty, smart wool, merino wool gear, so I was warm. Yeah, so I got a bit of wood stashed away here. Enough to keep this fire going, to cook coffee and have some oatmeal for breakfast, have some more coffee, and then I'll probably have to get a bit more if I want to keep the fire going for the rest of the day. But it looks like, yeah, we'll be sticking around here. Not going to go anywhere. We could push on, but I haven't been out in a long time now on a good haul, and we put a good day in yesterday, so I look forward to just hanging out and relaxing and enjoying the peacefulness out here and everything else like that. So that's the plan. We got a big beer in here, and we got a little tiny Saku boy who you can hardly see. But to be honest with you, Saku probably weighs more than Beer, but she's still got her big winter coat on, and she's very fluffy. Hey Beer, she's just starting to shed that winter coat now, actually. So, a few beer hairs to be seen kicking around the house and surely around this tent over the next week. Beer! Come on, Beer! Let's go! There she is, there she is. There they go, they're like a bunch of wild animals. Along with myself, out in their natural habitat, getting things done. Hey! That's a bit much. Offsides. Come here. Heel, come on. Saku, be nice. Saku, you never know when to stop, do you, bud? Never know when to stop. Now Bear's going right into the deep water. Don't go in there, Bear. Please don't go in that bog hole. Bear, come on. This way, let's go. Heel, Sack. Come on, Bear. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Bear. Sometimes you gotta run away and she'll start coming. Let's go, Bear. Come on. Come on, good girl. Let's go. Come on. Come on, good girl. And a detour off into the bush. Look at her. She never wants to be on the trail. She's like a moose in there. Sack, she's a moose. Go get her. Let's go, come on. Stretch those legs out now in the tent too long. Woohoo! Bear! Let's go! Come on! Bear! Hey! Come on, let's go! That's long enough now. Bear's gone now on one of her classic little getaways. She strikes off for a while and comes back when she feels like it. I had her tied on there for most of the morning and afternoon. I was sitting around and having a bite to eat, and then I would cut some wood and I let her go off for a bit. Her and Saka were following me around for a while, and then all of a sudden Saka was there and Bear wasn't. So she's been gone now 30 minutes, so she'll be back. Just a matter of when, you know. You feel bad leaving her tied on, like, geez, she's just there, and Saku's out going around with me, and she barks, and she's, you know, she's pissed. So I wanna let her run and be free, you know, the way she should be. She always comes back, but sometimes, you know, you do get a little bit, what if she didn't come back, right? What if another animal got her, right? You know? Traps and snares, I mean, it's a reality, but we're out here now, and I'd like to think none of that would happen, and I don't think about it, but it's a reality. So she'll be back. She will be back, and she literally could be 100 yards away. I just can't see her through the bush, and you'll be calling. She hears you. She hears you calling her name. But she wants nothing to do with it. She'll come back when she's ready. Bear, come on! You holler her name out a few times just to, you never know. In case she's getting a bit far, that'll give her a bearing. I walked up and down the path here and we put some prints down, so anyways, going in now and sit by the fire, and we'll wait for her return. Hey, Sack. Where's Bear?
Satku, where's Bear 2?
Look who decided to come back. An hour and a half later. Hey Bear, did you have a fun adventure? It wasn't fun waiting around for you all afternoon. Come here, Bear. Come to Dad, looking for a rotten dirty. Come here. Bear, come here. No, 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 come here. Good girl. Hey, come to Dad. Come here. Come here. Good girl. You're getting tied on now, my dear. I'll tell you that. I think first I gotta bring you for a rinse down in old Rattling Brook. What do you think? Yep, let's do it. Come on, Bear. You bugger. Just whittling a little spoon here now to pass the time, relaxing. It's just coming up on 5 p.m. there now, and it didn't turn out to be too bad after all. About an hour ago, the freezing rain, snow, and even a bit of rain, that mixture kind of ceased, and it's all right now. It's not windy or nothing, so you know, it wasn't a nice day by any standards at all, but it wasn't a terrible one either. So that's it. Took day 2 of the trip here to settle in and settle into the pace of the trip and just enjoy it. Bear came back, of course. I knew she would. She always does. You know, I trust Bear. I've spent a lot of time in the woods with Bear before Satku came even. You know, not on any long trips, but 1 and 2 day trips. down to a campsite I used to go to often, and by canoe as well it was. But you know, she always comes back, and today she was what? An hour and a half, a bit too long, right? Once it gets to an hour or so, you start to think, you know, is she ever going to come back? Right, I find that she's getting older now, and Bear's, you know, she's not an old dog, she's just over 5.5 now, I think. But she tends to go a little further than what she used to when she was a young pup. But that's it. This trip was meant to be a test for Bear. You know, it's an experiment, as I said, to train Bear in, and maybe, you know, over the next few good years of her life she has of moving and being able to handle a big workload, I want to get her out on a trip, and this is a test for her. And so far she almost failed there earlier. I had half a mind a little while ago to take her back home and get Heather to meet us out by the road. I mean, it's only 8 or 9 kilometers out, but I don't want to. I want to go on and test her and see, you know, will she stick with us? She should. She wants to be with us. She likes to explore a little bit. So I'm a bit, you know, I'll have a few knots in my stomach when I get up to the brook, and, you know, is she gonna follow the brook with us like Saku's gonna do? Or is she gonna want to take pit stops every 5 minutes and have us waiting, you know? But I'm willing to take an extra day or two to do this trip to see what she's made of, and yeah, that's what's up. Old Bear out for training camp. She's a good dog. She's a smart dog. Wicked pup, you know. Anyways, the camera died there, but Bear's a good dog, and she deserves a good chance. But if things hit the fan, this will be her last one. She'll be back to day adventures on the leash. And I mean, I had her on the leash all day yesterday. Even when I got here, I tied her on. But I lit her off just for a second as we were getting a bit of wood. Bango, gone on a journey. One of Bear's classic journeys. So that's it. So I got a bit more wood to get here for this evening, and get a bite to eat. Some rice or something like that I'm gonna have this evening, and yeah, that's the plan. And then back at her tomorrow, because it's supposed to be a decent day. I haven't checked the weather since I left yesterday morning, but tomorrow's just supposed to be like overcast, maybe a few flurries, a cooler day, so we'll be onward. Anyhow, I'm gonna finish that little carving project and grab a cup of coffee. want to note as well too that I got my dry pack off behind the tent, away from the fire, because I don't mind a random burn hole in this tent. Just patch it up with duct tape, no big deal. Like, there's a couple here, one's patched up right there, but these, none of these are from since when I got here. They're older holes. I've just been keeping a small fire and keeping an eye on it all times, and but I don't want a burn hole in my dry pack, not at all. So I keep it well back there and tucked away, and no embers, hopefully, knock on wood, reach over there. So just thought I'd point that out. Useful information. Keep an eye on it yourself if you're ever out around with things that you don't want to get burnt by the fire.
No, none for you. You just had your supper, bud.
Bear, what's going on? How you doing? You feeling okay? Bear's over there moaning and groaning. She was out on that little venture she went on, and I'd say she ate everything in her path. So she's probably got a bad belly. But oh, she's over there now, just she's in discomfort. And that's it, Bear. That's what you get. Or maybe it's my fault for not telling you on. Either way, she's back. She's not feeling good, so. Got the fire going. That'll be the last few logs there. I got one more tree to cut up. Right here. And then that'll get me through this evening. And we'll be up on the go early tomorrow morning. But I like this little campsite. It was a beauty. So nice today, sitting back. I'm pretty sore from yesterday. Slugging in that road, which was snowy at times and muddy at other times and hard to get traction, but that's it. It's a part of it. I've softened up a little bit. It's been a while since I had a good haul, so. What do you say, Sack? How you feeling, bud? Sack's just eating a bit of snow now. Eating something. Looking for crumbs. Alright. I'm going to chop that tree up now and go down by the river and get some water for tomorrow. And then we might go for a walk. And then kick back in the tent. Yeah, you like that, didn't you, Sack? That word. We might walk down the trail there. So, that's the plans. Beautiful woods here. Beautiful woods. Look at it. Even off the side of this trail. Great rattling brook down there. Through the trees. It's a lovely spot here. Lovely spot. Come on, Bear. You're coming in early tonight, are you? Not feeling too good. Lie down by you, old girl. Take your position there down at the foot of the tent. Beautiful fire, and you can't beat it, can you? See if we can get you can't beat that fire out there tonight, can you? Just crackling away now. It's gonna crackle me to sleep now in a minute. Night's pretty much set in. Bears come in to join the tent crew, me and Sakio, and we're gonna call it a night. So catch you on the trail tomorrow.
It's a damp, wet, cold day.
You know, I'd say it's a coyote, and he came in for a good look this morning. So I'm sinking down a bit. Nothing serious. I wouldn't want too much more snow.